Hey guys, how are you tonight? I think I'm competing with Benny and probably Chroma Mama, so I'm not expecting a big crowd. But that's okay. We're small over here, but we're mighty, right? That's the way it's always been, just the few of us, and that's okay. But I've got new information, and it could be good information. We're looking for that fourth peripheral player, right? The one that we can't see. The one that's to the side. Hi, Andy Stoner. I've not seen you in a while. No, the girlfriend was not the same one that had the GoFundMe on Summer and Rose. She may have been, hang on just a minute, my daughter's calling. This is the one that she was living with when Rose disappeared. I think her and Rose were just friends. But her and Rose were friends also when Rose disappeared. But go back and look at the documents on the video that I just released. Her and my Linda, let me make sure I can pronounce this last name right. This is one of them funny last names. Bicondova. But let me ask y'all something. Was anybody besides me watching Summer's Facebook in the very beginning of this? Last July, was anybody else watching the people that Summer was friends with on Facebook? Because I had my eye on one guy all this time that I have been running his name randomly, and I could not make any connections with him. Yes, Andy. They've been all over together. If anybody was watching Summer's Facebook and who she was friends with and who was friends with her when she first got gone, there was a man that was brown-headed that was friends with her named Daniel Hultzy. Does anybody else remember that name? Hultzey. And I've asked around about this name before, especially last year. We never could make a connection with Daniel. He didn't really have a record. We couldn't connect him to anybody in Rogersville. and the leads would just go nowhere. Well, I've made that connection. Yes, his people was from Florida, Oreo, or they appeared to be. Okay, he is this Melinda Bicondova's son-in-law. Don Wells had some brain leakage. You know, when you go and listen to these investigators talk about brain leakage, and they say your brain leaks right out your mouth sometimes. He had some brain leakage on the behavior panel. If you go back and watch my video, he says that he asked Candace about her mother, and he asked her mother about the girlfriend, and he says, well, the girlfriend is in senior care. Well, a lot of all these people sure are connected to her. I got this, Lisa. I have finally put these pieces together. Rose Meyer set up the GoFundMe, but she is not the girlfriend that I'm talking about. The girlfriend that I'm talking about, her name was Melinda Bicondova. She had a daughter that married this Daniel Holtze. And Daniel seems to, according to Facebook, be married to several women, or has been married to several women. There are lots of children on these Facebook pages. Whether she is or whether she isn't in a nursing home is not the question here. The question here is these people that were friends with Summer on her Facebook page when she got gone, that was connected directly to Candy Hare's girlfriend. No, I just typed that in there. The Demon Slayer Valkyrie. Candy Hare has a lot of aliases, and when you look up these aliases, a lot of them are directly related to, and when I say this, they're QAnon scams, is what they are. When you pull them up, it's to wanting you to donate to these QAnon scams. Oh, it did not appear that she was in a nursing home to me. It looked like she was alive and doing fine. But I can't prove one way or the other yet whether she is or whether she isn't in a nursing home. But this whole family seems to be alive and kicking and doing fine. And if you look, they have Candace and they have Candy Hair all on their friends list on their Facebook. Don't look like an ex I ever had. My exes, there's no way that you would catch me near them, much less. And these Holtzies, they throw up red flags to me. They always have. You dang straight Don lied about it. It was brain leakage right out of his mouth. I'm glad that you're finally agreeing with me on something, Lisa. Her name is Melinda, and that's according to documents in Grantsburg, Wisconsin, where they applied for dog license together. And they were denied dog license because they had so many pit bulls running loose already. The city said no more. You can't have any more. Well, you know what? According to city documents, they were living together. Lisa, go look. Go look at the documents that I just posted on that video. They are from the city where they were denied dog license. Both of them. Okay, well, that's just the one X. That's fine. I don't care which X it is. The point is that that's an X. That's an X that she is in contact with. And that is an ex that her son in law was friends with Summer Moon Utah Wells the day that she got gone. That grown man had contact with Summer. What part of that do you not think is just icky? I cannot screen share on this computer. I tried to upload everything and it said that it would take like an hour and 20 minutes to upload everything to my Google Drive. And people were wanting me to go live quicker than that. So if you want the documents, you will just have to go over and watch the 1 minute and 30-second video. I will. What I can do is post the documents on my community wall. How about that? I can do that because I can do that from my phone. Remember, right before I went to Tennessee, you guys had helped me get this Chromebook, and this is just like the second or third time I've used it. Right. It was strange that Summer even had a Facebook to begin with, and she only had 4 or 5 friends besides Allie and Hunter. And one of them was this grown, very grown man. And it threw up red flags to several of us, and several of us has been watching him, and we've been trying to make this link. And it sent us to Florida to some of his people, when in fact it's not Florida at all. But let me get you guys this stuff posted on the community wall from these legal documents and newspaper articles from Grantsburg. And that way Lisa can't tell me I'm wrong anymore. Give me just a minute. Ta-da, 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 ta-da. Okay, they're so big I can only post 3 at a time. But these 3 show right here that they were only allowed to keep 6 dogs, and 3 of them were pit bulls. And they were denied any more licenses. There you go. It's on the community wall, Lisa. And it's in the newspaper too. So you can even pull it up in the newspaper, the past newspaper articles there. Okay, Lisa, well, give us the other girlfriend's name, and I'll make a connection there too. Because this right here is an ex-girlfriend. This is an ex-girlfriend that she was living with. An ex-girlfriend whose son-in-law was friends with Summer when she got gone. Now, if the girlfriend is any worse than that, tell us her name. Because I don't know what you mean by the girlfriend, unless you're talking about a current girlfriend. But I know that these 2 are still very much friends. Well, did this Val have any kids or anything that was friends with Summer when she got gone? And if something like that leaked out of Donwell's mouth, don't you think that people have a right to know who she is? Don't you think that this has gone far enough? Don't you think that this girl needs to be brought home? Investigators have proved that the brain will leak out the mouth truth. And sitting there with the behavior panel, Don's mouth leaked truth. He is questioning whether or not Candace had something to do with it that involved one of her ex-girlfriends. And the police and investigators are assuming that this woman is in a senior home. Nobody's looking into it because everybody thinks that she's in a senior home. Well, Melinda has. So how do we know which ex? That's what I'm asking you, Lisa, is how do we know which ex how do we know which ex this could have possibly been that Don Wells was referring to? The one that she's currently talking to, whose son-in-law is friends with Summer, this 30-something, 40-year-old man that was friends watching Summer. Seems to me like a bunch of them are liars. Everybody up in that holler is hiding something. And you know who's paying for it? Summer's paying for it. Or Summer's remains are paying for it. One way or the other, a 5-year-old girl is paying for it. Because nobody wants to open their mouth and say the truth. What is the truth? Because somebody's covering for SA, somebody's covering for pills, somebody's covering for this, or somebody's covering for that. Nothing is more important than that little girl being gone. I don't care what is going on in my house. I don't care who goes to jail for what when it comes to the disappearance of a child. And that's the way everybody should feel. And honestly, I don't think the investigators and the police give one flip about these other crimes that is going on as long as that little girl comes back up. This has gone on entirely too long. And I'm sorry, but there is something wrong with a grown man that is almost 40 years old. And go look at his Facebook post and the people around him. Go look at the people around him. How the Facebook posts pick up around in June and then just die out. Which Candace? Which Candace is behind this? We've got so many Candaces, we've got so many Dons, we've got so many Andys saying Candace is behind this. And that was another thing. That was one more thing. Let me say this. The Daniel Huxley guy that married Melinda's daughter, she's friends with some of the Larsons. So let me put that out there too. When you go to her Facebook page, and it may not be the exact Larsons because I don't know what the Larson kids' names are. But there was Larsons on her Facebook page too. Y'all just go check it all out for yourself. Like I've always told y'all, don't take just my word for it. Go look for yourself at what I'm telling you. Don't take just Lisa's word for it. Go look for it. See it with your own eyes and decide for yourself. The truth will stand when the rest of the world falls. Isn't Detective Pruitt, who is on Summers' case, connected to the Crawfords as well? I heard that somewhere. Am I honest? I have heard that Detective Pruitt is related to Andy and Marlena Crawford. Just to be honest, just to put that out there, yeah, I've heard that too. As far as I know, there is some truth to that. And if those two applied for a license together, they had enough business and ties, even if they were not a couple. They were, and they had the same address together, Andy. The home addresses are the same on the applications. You can check that out for yourself too. I don't know that much about Rosa's case, other than just the basic facts. I have never dug into Rosa's case. Shame on me. I have focused on Summer's case. And after I had went to Tennessee and I seen everything for myself, I shut down. For the last month, I have shut down. And I have tried to only present facts since I have been back. I have tried to only put out there what I could back up with papers. I have been very careful with what I have put out. Matter of fact, I have only put out 2 or 3 videos since June the 15th. And that's the way I'm going to continue with Summer's case. I told y'all that yesterday. There's not going to be just any more wild conspiracy speculation. If I don't have something, I'm not going to say it. And what I have here is documents showing that these two ladies lived together and they applied to keep dogs at their house, like dog tag license, and they were together. And this woman's son-in-law was on Summer's Facebook page when Summer got gone. Why? Yes, I was at Warriors when I was in Tennessee, Barbie. I went to both things. I went to the prayer vigil and I went to Krama Mama's thing, and both of them were just absolutely beautiful. At Lisa K, do you have proof that you know family, friends, and neighbors that you keep claiming on all these channels? Tenfold Brat says, no matter 3 degrees, 6 degrees, same thing. We are all way closer than we know. Lisa K answers, at Angel Dust, of course. I do have a question at Lisa K. The first time I ever seen you was on Zav Girl. And you said that you were, the first time I seen you, you said that you were a school friend of Jeannie's, I believe. But you had never met Candace. Was that not what you said? At Andy, she said her daughter worked at the DNR with Jeannie. Jeannie never worked at the DNR. I saw those posts. What's a DNR? This is a little off topic and I might be late on this, but I found a screenshot I took many months ago and forgot about. There's a trail of an area in Warrior State Park called the Boneyard. Well, let's get back to what this live was supposed to be about, and in person, all the attention. Y'all don't forget to like this live stream since I've only done, this is my second live in a month. I've kind of fell out of the algorithm, and this is information that needs to be thrust out there into the algorithm so people can get their hands on it and they can see it. So I would appreciate it if you would like it, or hit the dislike button twice. But I'm done chasing, after Jody Sue. There's enough people covering Jody Sue. So I am going to try and keep doing things like this and going back and finding things that was said in the beginning and digging into them and seeing what facts that I can't pull out of it. I'm more interested in Daniel's background as well. And the immediate people around him. Again, I find it weird that you've got a 5-year-old that can't read, that can't write, that has no technical abilities to be on Facebook, that has a Facebook profile. And you have these grown men that are friends with her. To me, that throws up more red flags than the Red Barrel video or the U-Haul picture. To me, the U-Haul picture was almost like an advertisement for ready to go, like the Red Barrel. Well, that's social media. Summer couldn't read, Summer couldn't write, Summer couldn't use social media, Summer couldn't use that Facebook. So all it was a picture there. And I would be interested in knowing if the police have tried pulling any forensics off, digital forensics off of her Facebook profile to see what kind of pictures had been posted there previously. That's what her profile says to me. And now here this guy is popping up again a year later. When I find this woman that used to live with Candace Hare, or Hair, or however you say her name. And then you've got, to make it even stranger, then you've got, it's unclear to me, and it never has been made clear, if Candace was with Grandma and the kids in Gatlinburg. The best I can gather, it was just Grandma and the kids in Gatlinburg. So you've got Grandma trying to handle all these kids in Gatlinburg. And the whole time, every picture that's taken in Gatlinburg, poor little Summer looks like she has just been drugged. Again, I've said this 100 times. Show me a picture where she's not rubbing her eyes, about to fall over just on Josie. She's leaning over on his shoulder. The kid is just, why? What is going on? So somebody make it clear to me. Yes or no? Was Candace with Grandis during that Gatlinburg trip? Does anybody truly know? Or was it just Grandis and the kids? That's a question that has been unanswered for me for a while, and I cannot find photographic evidence to support that Candace was there. I don't know, Barbie, but I do know that Summer seemed to have been wearing the same clothes the whole time. Summer was swimming in the same clothes that she was in Gatlinburg in. And if you go back and you listen to those fine details, it almost sounds like the clothes that she was reported missing in may have been the same clothes that she was wearing in Gatlinburg. And I think that Gatlinburg trip may have just been a day trip. Like there and back. I do not think it was even an overnight trip. It was just like there and back. And then the question becomes, why? Of course, this is all in my opinion. Let me put this in there. This is in my opinion. I live close enough that if we were to go to Gatlinburg, I could make a day trip of it, but it would be miserable. And it would be like in a 18-hour trip thing, like if we stayed and rode the rides and everything, and it would be a miserable trip. So for me to go, I would at least pack me an overnight bag. And I'm going to at least stay overnight if I'm going to go. And most people would. But I don't think they did. Well, I understand that, Silvertone. But they live hand to mouth by choice. Don made enough money that they didn't have to live paycheck to paycheck. I've got a clip right now that I'm working on to where he says that he's got $3,000 in his pocket at any given time. So they live hand to mouth by choice. And that choice is drugs and alcohol. Well, I believe that Don has more brain leakage out his mouth than any of the rest of them do. Even tax time this year, they were able to claim the kids for 6 months because they had the kids up until July. They had the kids more than 6 months of last year. So they could claim the kids for 6 months. So at tax time this year, they at least pinged them for that 6 month time. I heard people say at tax time, "Oh, what they're doing is illegal if they're getting taxes back on the kids." No, it's not. If you do the 6 month thing, if you split the year. But anyway, back to summer social media. I hope that everybody feels the same way that I do about that. That her social media was like an advertisement sign. And from time to time, if you're still watching her social media, you will see another grown man friend her. And it will only be for a short time. And it's weird actions and weird things that goes on her social media. And I hope that investigators are watching it. Hey, Tennessee Rose, how are you tonight? Well, I think that Hawkins County needs to turn that case over. Just lay it down and be done with it. I don't think the public will ever fully trust Hawkins County anymore, especially after it's come out. All the detectives that are related to the people that live in Beech Creek, all these creators that are from Beech Creek that was pretty much hired to throw shade on this case. And there's a lot of them. And then there's a lot of them from Beech Creek that's here just to make a dollar. And then there's just some from around the surrounding area. And it's not my job to list them off. I mean, I think that most people know who they are. What party? I have checked that everybody keeps saying the party, the party. I have checked the database. Or I have talked to the people. I have not personally checked the database, but I have talked to the people who has gathered the data on the database. And I always assumed that it was the night of the 14th that Journey got sick and went home. It was not. That happened way before. That's really great, Lisa. I'm glad to hear that. I was afraid that they would wait until after Don got out of jail and give him a chance to get them back. That's what I was afraid of. Yeah, I saw that. But I did not see at the address that I pulled, I did not see anybody else living there with the two of them. If you want, you can send that over to my email, Lisa. You always say you'll send me stuff, but you never do. But as far as that party, I've never been able to prove that there was a party. And as far as that being when the night before being when Journey got sick and went home, that's not when it happened. So are all three boys in like one foster home? Will they all be adopted together, or will they be adopted by different families? Yeah, it was the Friday before she went missing. So, I thought it was even further out than that. Yeah, I'm feeling some better. I still can't hear real good out of my left ear. So, what relinquished means that does that mean the same thing as terminated, Barbie? Or does relinquished mean that the parents gave it? I mean, can you explain that just a little bit to me so I'll understand what you mean by relinquished? I would appreciate it if you would send that to me, Lisa, especially if you can pull one on Daniel. Yeah, it's on my about section. Okay, terminated means the court took your rights. When 120 acres said. So relinquished means you signed them over to the courts. In the case of Candace, she was a no-show, and I am not sure what DW's status is because of being in jail. Hey, Damaris, how are you? Well, those boys have been through so much. Maybe she will see that if she can't give them a good life, that maybe they're more stable somewhere else. So he did attend court via Zoom. Well, that's good that they will all be adopted by the same family and they get to stay together. My question would be, what if Summer does come home? Where will she go? What happens with her? Has the courts taken that into consideration? Because then at that point, just say that she is still with us by the luck of the gods, or whatever, then she's away from her brothers, you know? And that's sad. 120 acres. I think this has confused people, in my opinion. When CPS came to the home, Don and Candace agreed to relinquish custody temporarily for the children's safety. Court order was not needed to remove them. Right. Barbie on the West Coast. If she is found by the grace of the gods, she can reunite with her brothers. Yeah, they spent the first night with Clyda, from what I understand. Is it true, or is there any truth to Clyda being one of Don's stepmoms? I have heard that rumor floating around since the very beginning. And I do know that Don had a relationship with her even before he moved back to Tennessee. It seemed like, as far back as you can find Facebook or any kind of social media on Don or Clyda, either one, they have been in contact with one another. There may not be any proof of anything like that, but they're of Mormon faith, and the Mormons are polygamists. And well, 120 acres, according to the interview with Clyda. Clyda even says that she has had the kids for the first night. Yeah, I know church members refuse to take them. I have wondered that, Sunshine, why April of 2021 is just blank for Candace. I've wondered if summer hadn't been gone a whole lot longer than even just June 14th. Well, Temple Brat, could you imagine being trying to be responsible for those boys and being in the pool in between Don and Candace? I don't know that I would want to be in that either. Hey, Gemini Moon. And y'all don't forget too, I'm doing 99-cent memberships. You can find them on my community page. Well, Clyda also said that she was Don's dad's friend as well. So she was friends with both of them. Well, welcome, Eudora. Well, I think what JLR meant was Don will be going straight to Utah jail, not to rehab. That's a good question. Lisa K. Sue Silman wants to know, have you ever met Summer? Clyda Trent does have some local property there in Churchill, but she also has property in Utah. She's some kind of big person in the Mormon church. I don't think um, Sue meant that bad towards Lisa Kay, but I think that, some people do have questions for Lisa Kay that is legitimate. So I don't think that that was a sideways question. I think some people are curious about Lisa Kay. Yes, Clyda Trent is originally from Utah. Yes, 110 Ben Hill Road was in Clyda Trent's name before it went to DW. Karen left it to Don Wells. Clyda Trent. I done got tongue tied. Karen Goad left it to Clyda Trent until Don Wells met some things like getting married and doing some things that he was supposed to do before it was turned over into his name. I missed the date that you just said that Summer was seen on a camera. What day did you say that was? Karen left the house to Clyda Trent first, and then Clyda turned the house over to Don. He had to get married first. Lisa said no, she never met Summer. Has anyone here met her? Some of the neighbors said that they had never seen her. To be factual, at Lisa K, how do you know all of this? Don's mom put it in Clyda's name so she could get medical coverage. Yes, that's true. How do you know Don is not going to Utah? I'm sorry, but I've seen you get blocked from multiple channels' lives, and I'm struggling to believe you. Because she is paid by Rose Blythe's husband. What does Chris Larson have to do with Summer Wells' case? And to be honest, me and Lisa have had our ups and downs. In the beginning, me and Lisa fought all the time. I've blocked Lisa. I have unblocked Lisa. It has been rocky, but most of there's been some things that has not come to pass, but most of what she says turns out to be factual. Not all of it, but most of it. I don't know how she knows it. I would like to know. Yeah, if she behaves and don't get too pushy, she's okay. Yeah, Lisa, where are you from? I don't think I've ever asked. Where are Lisa from? I don't know how to drop links. The last time I tried, it wasn't successful. I've never had anybody on my panel, so I just don't know how to do that, Lisa. I'm sorry. I've never had anybody on panel, and like I said, I'm just learning this Chromebook, and I don't know how to do any of that. Oh, thank you, Alyssa. I appreciate that. Let me see if what I can figure out here. Did it do anything? No. Uh, mm, I don't know how to get it to. I've copied it onto the clipboard. Now I don't know how to get it. I'm trying. I don't like the farm lady much. But I'm getting to where, I can listen to everybody and find something from everybody that I can appreciate. Let's see. nobody has taken over my channel. I run my channel. Lisa asked for a link, and I'm trying to get that link up just like I would for anybody. And I am just having trouble because I don't know how. I've never had to put a link out. So, but if that's what you think, I'm so sorry about that. I will work on trying to figure out how to get my links out. I'm sorry about that, guys. Maybe next time. I just don't know how to get it from the clipboard over to the chat box. Well, if Don Wells is guilty of doing what he is accused of doing to Jeannie or anybody else, then he deserves to have to go back to Utah. But however, there is a video that I uploaded probably about 3 weeks ago on a case in Utah that is like 30 years old. And investigators are begging for victims to come forward. And it is a case of ritual abuse. They will not say which group it is from or what group it is associated with. But, if you were ever abused in any kind of ritual abuse, they're begging in certain counties in Utah, they are begging for people to come forward and contact the investigators. So I do know that case, whatever case it is that they're working on, and I don't know if that case has anything to do with Don Wells. It may or may not. But you can find that video in my uploads from about 3 weeks ago. Lisa, are you ever in contact with Don or Candace or Grandis? I guess that's kind of what everybody wants to know is if you have direct contact. I'm just trying to ask the direct questions that I think everybody wants to know. Well, I agree with that. One person can only type so fast. All right. Well, anyway, we're going to go back over the information that this live was set up to design to go over, and then I'm going to shut it down. We've already been going an hour and a half. The information that this live was designed to go over was the information about Grandma and one of her ex-girlfriends from Grantsburg, Wisconsin, and it looks like, they may have been to New Mexico and Nevada and a couple other places together, Oklahoma. And her son-in-law, Daniel Huxley, was attached to Summer's Facebook page when Summer got gone, and that's concerning. And these people definitely need looked at. The documents are on my community page. I found those sources from the local newspaper and from a local town hall meeting. Candy Hair and Melinda Bacondova shared the same address. And I have tried to reach out to Melinda, as you can see in my previous upload on Facebook, and she has not answered me as of yet. So I have tried to reach out. Hopefully she will. But kind of sort of started looking into all this after I went back over the behavior panel, some of Don's answers that he had gave to the behavior panel. And just looking deeper into stuff. And that's what I'm going to keep doing, is just looking deeper. And I'm going to let everybody else just continue with the drama. I'm done with the drama. Everybody please hit the like button and get me back into the algorithm. It has been so long since I've done live that I have fell out of the algorithms, and I need to get back into the algorithm. And I would appreciate it so much if you would hit the like button or hit the dislike button twice. You got to hit it twice. Don't forget, I'm selling memberships for 99 cents for the price of a cup of coffee. It's cheaper than a cup of coffee now. You can't even get a cup of coffee for 99 cents anymore. You can find that on my community wall under memberships. They start at 99 cents. I believe Friends start at 99 cents. And that just helps build our channel. Everything, all the memberships that or any super chats, anything like that, goes back into building our channel and making the channel better, pays for the StreamYard, things like that. So, all right, guys, I'm out of here for the night. Thank y'all so much for sitting here with me for the past hour and a half. I love you guys, and I will see y'all tomorrow. And y'all have a blessed night. Bye-bye.